Hello everyone, this is Snowbird Bob back again with you today. Today is Sunday, February the 3rd, 2019. I know I said I wasn't going to do any more posting until Tuesday, but I can't contain myself. So I want to come on here and do a quick update and talk about the weather pattern moving forward on here. What we're going to take a look at today is the latest 12Z GFS model. I'm going to take a look at precip types. The temperature anomalies, that's temperature's departure from average, and then we're going to take a look at and we'll talk about the long range a little bit. We're going to take a look at the latest CFS V2, and I'm going to let y'all know what I think that could happen as we move forward on here. So let's get started right here. This is the 12Z GFS V2, the 12Z GFS operational model. This is showing temperatures as we head through Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, running some 15 to 25 degrees above average for much of the forecast area. So it's going to be blowtorch. It's going to be it's not going to be hot out there, but temperatures in the 60s and the 70s for much of the forecast area up into around Thursday, and then of course we head into Friday and Saturday and Sunday. Much of the whole area is going to cool off again. And going to get more into a winter-like pattern, below normal temperatures throughout much of the forecast area. Warm up a little bit, but then you can see we got another cold shot as we head into middle of next week. And I think the pattern could and should start to finally slow down. But the only thing that's making me, in fact, before I talk about that, let's go talk about the precip chances. It looks like that this is going to be another case where the cold Arctic air is trying to catch up to the moisture as we head into Thursday night and Friday morning. We could see a little light wintry mix in northern Arkansas and southern Missouri, and then we take it out into northeastern Arkansas and out into maybe parts of central northern Mississippi, up into the Tennessee and Kentucky areas. We head out into Friday as this cold air is trying to catch up with this moisture. This may not even happen out here, but if it does, it shouldn't be nothing that's significant out there. But it will take us back into a wintertime pattern out there, because I can show you some of these temperatures on here. I mean, we go from 60s and 70s, and then bam, we're back into everybody's in the 20s, 30s, and 40s again. We take it all the way out to day 10. You see, I mean, it's got some pretty cold air out there with single digits and 20s over much of the area. I thought around February the 8th, February 10th, the pattern would start to slow down, and it looks like that's what's going to be the case. Now, the MJO, that's the Madden-Julian oscillation, looks to go into the best phases 8 and 1. That should get the pattern to really start to slow down here and really bring some cold air into the region. But, however, in fact, before I get into that again, I'm trying to get ahead of myself here. I want to take a look at the latest NCEP CFS V2. This is a long-range forecasting model, and it's actually predicting a consistently negative NAO and AO. So what it's trying to tell us is that the pattern's going to slow down. We're going to have some ridging out west. We're going to have some cold air across southwestern Canada, bleeding down in the central and southern part of the United States, and finally some blocking up here. Some true blocking with a true negative NAO. And that's why I said that this area is going to be the battle zone between the real cold air trying to come down and the warm air on the southeast ridge here. It's going to create a battle zone from February the 8th up into the end of the month and probably into the 1st of March out there. However, the European model and the CMC model on the NAO and the AO is showing it to go slightly positive. So that would indicate that we wouldn't see much blocking across Greenland, and we wouldn't see much of a ridge out here into the west, and we wouldn't see quite as cold as what this NCEP CFS V2 is actually showing. But however, if we go back into my winter outlook and we look at what the JMA, the GEMS Tech, and the Euro was showing to be a real cold December, January, February, well, all those models is blown. We looked at all that water in the Gulf of Alaska. That should have promoted a western ridge, a ridge up into Alaska in the west here, and should have promoted a central and eastern trough for much of the winter. That has not happened. And also, with the cooler waters off the northeast coast and the southeast coast of Greenland, that should have promoted a negative NAO. Should have promoted some blocking toward Greenland to slow this pattern down, to get us some, some cold air into here and to be locked in. That has not happened. So those long-range teleconnections has failed miserably out there. And all the analog gears that I put together. The only thing that's really held up is I said we was going to have an active subtropical jet from the Pacific here. We've had that. We've had plenty of opportunities to see winter weather, plenty of moisture in here, but we just hadn't had the cold air. And if we've had the cold air's been chasing the moisture. That's not a good way to get winter weather if you want to see winter weather out there. So see, there's two things that's going to happen here. Either the European model that's been wrong all winter long, and the JME model and the Jamstex model has been wrong all winter long, is going to be right, moving forward, and we're not going to see much of a winter left. Or the CFS V2 model that's been predicting pretty good. It's actually done very well this winter. This is a United States generated model. And it's actually done very well, but it's showing us to go into a colder weather pattern as we head from especially February 10th forward. This is February the 8th to the 18th here, and it's showing the cold air really starting to dig into the area. And this is going to be right. And actually the NCEP CFS V2 model's got the NAO and the AO going negative and staying negative all the way to early March. And if that was to take shape, we would get some blocking across Greenland here, and we'd get that ridge setting up in the far west, and we'd get that trough in the central and southern part of the United States here, and we'd set up that battle zone like I put out a few days ago, or maybe a week ago, on the Facebook page there. Now, if the CFS V2 is right, we're going to have an interesting pattern from about around mid-February to mid-March, all across the forecast area, from I-20 all the way up to I-70 and I-40 here. So everybody would be fair game, and it'd be kind of a battle zone set up. It'd be it would keep an active subtropical jet, but would have more substantial blocking going on, and the progression of the pattern would slow down. So if this is right, and this has been right pretty much all winter long, so we're just going to have to wait and see how this pans out there, because, like I said, two things can happen. The CFS has been right pretty much all winter long, and now it's finally showing some cold air and true blocking and a pattern to slow down as we head mid-February, mid-March. Or is the other models, the European model, seasonal forecast model, the JMA, and the Jamstex model, the models that's really failed all winter long, they're showing now a warm pattern and a positive NAO. So, and then that would mean that we wouldn't really see much any more of a winter out there. So we'll just have to see which one is right out there. And I really and truly, I'm going to be honest with you, I can't really tell which one is going to be right, because we can get in the best pattern. We can have a negative NAO, a negative AO, a neutral to a slightly positive PNA. We can have the warm waters up here in the Gulf of Alaska, the cool waters off the southeast coast of Greenland, with the cool waters off the northeast coast up here that promotes a negative AO, a negative NAO, and then the warm waters in the Gulf of Alaska would promote ridging up into Alaska and ridging across the west, and a trough across the central and southern and eastern part of the United States. We can have all that great stuff, teleconnections, analog gears matched up, and still see a mild winter with little to any winter precipitation. I've seen it like that, and I've seen it where we can be in a positive AO and a positive NAO, and have everything going against us in teleconnections, and then turn out to have some very cold patterns set up with a lot of wintry weather and all that there. So you can't really tell about the long range. Only God knows is what the future holds for us. But I'm just here to try to let y'all know what I think is going to happen. And I think that, I'm going to lean more towards the CFS V2, that we're going to set up a battle zone, and we're going to see a colder end of the winter from especially mid-January, February out to mid-March. The reason I say that, and the only reason I'm saying that, because I know all of my other forecasts, predictions for this winter has pretty much failed miserably. But besides the active subtropical jet's been very active. But the CFS V2 model has been very, very accurate this winter. So I'm hesitant to go against this model here, the CFS V2 model here. I'm to go against this model when the other long range models has been pretty much dead wrong about the 500 millibar pattern setting up. Now the only way that it could be that the other model could save itself is from say around February 10th to March 21st. Pretty much east of the Rockies turn very cold and below average, and then lots of winter precipitation. That's the only way the other models can save itself, and that's the only way my forecast is going to be able to save itself. And otherwise, my forecast is pretty much going to bust. I admit that. I'm not going to beat around the bush about that. But I put a lot of work, a lot of research, a lot of extensive hours into trying to come up with a winter forecast. And, we'll see how it pans out. It's still early out there. Climatology speaking, this time of the year up into the mid-March, February into mid-March is our best time of the year to get some big snows and big ice storms and out there. So, I don't want to see any ice storms. A lot of you out there don't want to see that either, but we'll see how it pans out. And we'll come back and review this, in early April. But I'll get back to doing my normal posts. It'll probably be Tuesday or Wednesday. But I just want to come on here and let y'all know what's going on out there. And just enjoy the warm weather. And because it's going to stay pretty warm to Thursday. And then going into this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, we go back into a much below average temperature pattern out there. And we're going to have that possibility of a little winter weather across northern Arkansas and southern Missouri and maybe out parts of the Tennessee area with that cold air chasing the moisture. Not a good setup. Anything can change. It's still the weather, and I'll let y'all know if anything does change out there. But anyway, we'll see how it all plans out there. I appreciate y'all tuning in today, and y'all have a great Sunday, everyone.